Viewers, as you well aware that I am Dr. Jetling Yellosa, running a channel on the YouTube platform titled as the Law Speeches. In this channel, I am regularly posting my lectures on various facets of law, and sometimes I'm also posting my lectures on the international affairs. So first of all, I would like to request all of you to subscribe to my channel, and the channel is meant for the spreading legal knowledge, legal awareness in the societies. As you well aware that India is a democratic country and the elections are going on for 18th Lok Sabha elections, and the political parties are in their forays. And before going to it, I would like to give some quotations regarding elections, and also we briefly discuss in outlines of the 18th Lok Sabha elections, and finally we discuss the important Supreme Court decisions on the election laws. So quotations are concerned, there are number of quotations are there with the speaks about the importance of election. The famous president of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln, he quoted that the ballot is more than that of the bullet. And the, the Luther King Jr., the civil rights activist of the USA, he gave a quotation. I quote here: our lives begin to an end the day we become silent about the things that matters on us. So elections have such an importance in our lives. And another famous quotation given by the again Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of USA. I quote here: elections belong to the people. It is their decision. If they decide turn their back on the fire and burn their behinds, then they will just have to sit on their blisters. So beautifully, he given this quotation stating that we have to actively participate in the election process. Whether you be a candidate or you are an ordinary voter, we, the, we have to exercise our franchise with any kind of bias, only for the benefit of the nation. So that was a beautiful quotation quoted by the Abraham Lincoln. And the another quotation given by Sharon Salzberg. He quoted, voting is the expression of our commitment to ourselves, one another, this country and this world needs it. So this is a another beautiful quotation quoted by the Sharon Salzberg. So for surviving of democracy, elections are important. It is indispensable. Without that, democracy cannot survive. You know, India is well aware, we are well aware that it is a democratic country, and regularly we are seeing the elections from the 1951 onwards. As on today, why I am delivering the my lecture, 18th Lok Sabha elections are going on, and the fourth phase of elections are going on in 98 constituencies around India. You know, India is the second most populous country in the world, but also in terms of voters, the same thing is there. Around 97 crores of voters are participating in this election process. And from 2018 to 2024 of the elections are concerned, we added 3.5 crores of new young voters to voting list. You know, the Article 83 provides our mandates that we have to conduct the Lok Sabha elections once in 5 years. And the voting rights are given basing upon the citizenship, and the persons who cross the 18 years of age is given the right to vote, and all the ordinary residents of India has the right to vote, and they have to register themselves for the voting, and they should carry a valid voter card to vote in the elections. We also aware that we have the Indian diaspora, that means overseas citizens. Around in 190 countries, we have the Indian diaspora is there. Around more than 3 crores of population as residing. Indian people, origin people are residing in different parts of the globe, but they don't have enjoying the right of voting. So that is a biggest drawback, and we have to see how to resolve the issue of providing the voting right to them. As you know that well developed countries like USA, Canada and Germany, they're providing the voting rights to overseas citizens of those respective countries. So we also think in that way for providing the voting rights. You know, the another amazing part of this ongoing election is that there are many polling booths are there, but in state of Arunachal Pradesh, in a village of Malogaon, only one voter is there. For him, there is a voting polling booth is also been constituted. And that credit goes to Election Commission of India, because under Article 324 of the Constitution of India, Election Commission is a constitutional body, and it has a duty bound to conduct free and fair elections to the parliament as well as to the state assemblies and the councils. And the election commission this time also put out polling booths in the faraway places like wild sanctuaries. In Kerala, it has been done. The polling booth is installed in a wild sanctuary of Kerala. So, to conduct the elections process, we have the Representation of People's Act is there, 1951, and that act is amended number of times, and as per that act only elections are being conducted. Now we should discuss the another important aspect. If disputes are there with regard to elections between the parties, between the candidates, and between the candidate and the voters, so where we have to resolve the disputes. The election laws mandates that once the process of election is started, no court has to debar the election process. That also there under the under the Constitution of India, under Article 327 of the Constitution of India. So election commission becomes a powerful body for conduct of elections in throughout in our country. So now and again we have getting number of landmark decisions which speaks about the election disputes. Those decisions I would like to mention some of them here. That is the famous decision of the NP Punnuswamy versus returning officer Namakkal constituency in the Tamil Nadu. Here, the dispute pertains to the when the elections have been started and whether once election have been started, whether the courts has the power to interfere into the election process or not. So the matter was first time was went to the Madras High Court under Article 226 of the Constitution of India. And later an appeal, the matter was came to Supreme Court of India. So Supreme Court of India, it has been stated clearly that once a notification for the election is issued, from the day onwards, election process is being started or deemed to be started. And it will be there up to declaration of the results. So during this time, the courts cannot interfere in the matters of the election process. So the Chief Justice of then of 1950s, Patanjali Sastri, also reaffirmed this decision. Election process starts from the date of notification, it will be there till the end of declaration of the results. So during this time, nobody has the right to challenge the stopping of elections. And no court will interfere in this for the stopping or providing any kind of relief for the election. Then another important case, that is a Megharaj Kotari versus Delimitation Commission and others. The Supreme Court of India, case number 843 of 1966. So, time and again, the government of India and the Election Commission of India has, and the recommendations for the government of India can go for the delimitation of the constituencies. And the case is delimitation process was challenged in this case. The petitioner objected the delimitation process as some areas have been in the constituency of Ujjain was shifted to some other constituency, and that was challenged by the petitioner, the Megharaj Kothari in this case. And the Supreme Court has stated, no, the petitioner has the no right of challenging the action taken by the Delimitation Commission. So it does not come under any relief. So that this appeal was dismissed in this case. The another case called the Pashupatinath Singh versus Harihara Prasad Singh, Sayyid Mir Qasim. Appeal number, civil appeal number 1692 of 1967. So here, the petitioner filed the nomination from the Dumerong Assembly constituency, and while filing the nomination, he did not sign the oath of affirmation, which where the candidates have to give their oath and affirmation to abide by the Constitution of India. He did not sign or subscribe his signature upon that part, so his nomination was rejected. He filed a case in the Supreme Court before. First, he filed a case with the Election Commission returning officer. Then he went to High Court. Then ultimately, the matter went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has stated that as per law mandates, every candidate has to provide his oath of affirmation to the Constitution of India. So the contesting candidate has failed to provide such affirmation. So that is the reason his application was rejected. The Election Commission was right in rejecting his application, and the petition was dismissed. Another important case, that is a Sadiq Ali, another is appellant in this case, versus the Election Commission of India and other, and the P. Kakkar is an intervener. The case number is 70 of 1971. So in this case, the petitioner challenged the allotment of the symbol made to one faction of the Congress party. At that time, Congress party was divided into two groups. One is a Jagjivan Ram group, other is a Nijalingappa group. And the Election Commission of India, under the Election Symbols Reservation and Allotment Order of 1968, by availing this rules or order, allotted the official symbol, the cow, to the Jagjivan Ram group, ignoring the plea of the Nijalingappa faction. So the Election Commission, basing upon the numerical strength and majority of the legislatures, have given the symbol to Jagjivan Ram group. And the matter went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court also ratified, reaffirmed the decision of the Election Commission of India. Then another important case, this is a Srimati Indira Nehru Gandhi appellant and the Raj Narayan, the respondent. The appeal, civil appeal number 887 of 1975. So in this case, the election of the Srimati Indira Nehru Gandhi, then Prime Minister of India, was challenged by his opponent, the Raj Narayan, who is a senior Janata Party leader at that time, stating that during time of election, there was a complete misuse of official machinery from district collector, who is a returning officer, and all his subordinates have misused the power in favor of the Srimati Indira Gandhi, as she was the at that time the Prime Minister of India. And they indulged into many corrupt practices for election. And there was a gross violation of the Section 123, Class 7 of the Representation of Peoples Act, and the corrupt practices was indulged, and her election has to be set aside, should be nullified. That was the Raj Narayan, the respondent's contention here in this case. And the Allahabad High Court, after hearing the Raj Narayan, has upheld this contention and stated that the election of the Indira Gandhi was not properly made. And the Allahabad High Court given a landmark judgment striking downing the election of the Srimati Indira Gandhi from the Raebareli constituents to the Lok Sabha. And after that, in our country, the first time under Article 352 of the Constitution of India, the national emergency was promulgated, and all the opposition party leaders were arrested and put to behind the bars. And during that time, Parliament has passed the amendment, 1976 amendment, where number of amendments also been made to the Representation of Peoples Act of 1951, where it has been amended retrospectively that the election of the Prime Minister cannot be challenged, and also the Speaker also cannot be challenged. And that amendment was the 39th amendment, 36th amendment, and that's the Supreme Court has the occasion to discuss all these things in this case, and Supreme Court has validated the amendment made to the Constitution of India, and and her election was restored by the Supreme Court. So for time and again, Supreme Court has given landmark judgments. With recently, the Supreme Court just 2 months back, the use of VVPATs was questioned. The authenticity of VVPATs was questioned. The working of the those questions, and the petitioners demanded the complete counting of the VVPAT chits before carrying out the counting of the votes. The Supreme Court recently has suggested no, it is not possible to count all the VVPAT slips. Only randomly they can count, and where on account they can declare the results. But Supreme Court also given certain highly important suggestions to Election Commission of India to strengthen the spirit of the democracy, because confidence of the voters should be there. Voters' confidence should not be eroded. Some political parties still they are alleging that using of the modern technology like the VVPAT system in the election may be having certain loopholes that is not reflecting the correct spirit. It is better to go for the old system of traditional balloting, paper balloting. But Supreme Court stated no, the world is embarking onto new direction. And many countries in the world also adapted and adapting this new system. Why we should not? We have to make certain corrections, so it should be continued. Going back to old system is not to be advisable. That was an opinion rendered by the apex court of the land very, very recently, around at least 1 month back itself. In addition to these cases, there are other innumerable cases are there, important cases are there. So it is a election process should be conducted, because Election Commission of India is a constitutional body. Once when they are running the constitutional spirit, it should be conducted in a whatever party may be in the power, it should conduct elections in a fair and free manner, and to regain the confidence of the voters in the system. Because democracy is to be survived, elections are important. So, in modern democracy, as Abraham Lincoln, I am concluding by quoting the Abraham Lincoln, this democracy is for the people, of the people. So, it should be there. The confidence should be there. And maybe political parties, because of their different ideological or different things, they say at least certain things. But we have to see that the voters' confidence has to be built up. And it is another important aspect we have to remember that there is a less percentage of voting is going on in our country as compared to other previous elections, because the system is becoming corrupt. Unscrupulous elements have been entering into the political arena, and rich people, mega rich people are there coming. They are occupying the prime positions. The ordinary man has a no sway in the election right to contest, because of it became a very burden an ordinary, a common man to contest. And people have slowly eroding their confidence in the system. So it is a duty of the government, also the election commission, that the sanctity of the election should be maintained. For that, we have to make suitable amendments to the laws. And Supreme Court also time and again giving very, very landmark decisions. And it is also protecting the right of voters in one way or the other. So the election process which is going on in our country should be complete by the 1st of June, and it should complete by in peaceful and manner. So it leads to triumph of democracy in our country. Thank you for patiently hearing my